there is love, there is hope that one may have real families, real brotherhood and sisterhood, real peace. So says the Dalai Lama. And Jesus says, you need to love your neighbor as yourself. The old Christmas story tells us that when Mary and Joseph got to Bethlehem, there wasn't any room for them at the inn. And I can picture the innkeeper on that first Christmas with his overbooked inn. Due to the census of Caesar Augustus, it didn't matter if your wife was pregnant. You still had to travel. And I can imagine that innkeeper all frustrated at all the travelers and having to turn so many of them away. But I see him taking one long look at Mary, realizing this woman was very pregnant. So he begins to think outside the box, and I see him with sudden compassion scrambling around and sending someone to find a clean place and the animal stable out the back. And after I see him finished, I see him feeling strangely warm. That he's done the right thing, all things considered. You see, he did have room. And so it was in a stable that the Jesus of history was born. You see, sometimes compassion takes us out of the normal and puts us where people are hurting, so that we, like that innkeeper, can make a real difference in their lives. Talked with a businessman I greatly respect just last week. He said that times are tough in the business world. Everybody's just hanging on, hoping that the times are going to get better. A lot of people are dealing with a lot of stuff. Relationships are broken, or buckling, or stressed. 12% of Sacramentans are out of work. Across America, there are 6,600 foreclosure filings every day. That's real families losing their real homes, moving in with relatives, sleeping in their car or truck, or finally just on the street, looking for safe ground. And all of this can and does get us discouraged. What do we do about this discouragement? Because it can sap our compassion for other people. You know, there's a lovely, well-known preacher's story about a mule that fell down an abandoned well. The well was deep and dark. The farmer couldn't hear any movement at the bottom after the mule fell in, so he thought that the mule had to be dead. So sadly, he called his sons together because he loved this mule, and they brought some dirt and began shoveling it into the well. And they began to fill it in, and when the first shovel of dirt fell on the mule's back, woke him up, and he shook it off. As each shovel load fell, the mule shook it off and raised his feet. Oblivious to what was really happening, the farmer and his sons kept in filling the well, throwing a steady stream of dirt into the well until one of them finally noticed a set of ears poking above the edge of the well. Moral of the story? When they're throwing dirt at you, you shake it off. Tramp it down, use it to rise higher. That's the best way to handle these economic these times, by turning our scars into stars. And on the way up, especially at Christmas, we need to think about other people who need our help. They need our help to shake off the calamities they're facing and find a future for themselves. And compassion and encouragement for other people is how we do that. Christmas is hard for many of us. It's hard in the face of tragedy or loss or an economic downturn to get into the Christmas spirit. It's also quite easy for us to ignore people when we're into ourselves. So much easier, isn't it, to pass by on the other side of the road, as Jesus once noticed? But we need to shake that off, rise higher, or we won't be able to help anybody. If there is love, there is hope that we can have real families, real brotherhood, real sisterhood, real peace. Harrison Kelly was not very good at shopping for his wife, like many a man I know, he included. So he decided to bring his secretary along. Melanie, where are you when I need you? He decided to bring his secretary Sally along to help him. It was a cold day, and ahead of them on the street, Harrison spotted a homeless man and a young boy huddling around a steam vent, trying to keep themselves warm. Harrison didn't have any time for people who were homeless. He believed that if he helped someone with money, they'd only spend it on alcohol. So he tried to cross the street to pass by on the other side, but the sidewalk on the other side was blocked. Next, he decided to get on the other side of Sally in order to get between her and the homeless man and the boy. A quarter or two ought to do it, he said.